Peace, power, and prosperity. Rob Blackstorm. What's going on, everybody? Today is 420. 420. 4 plus 2 equals 6. 6 is the number of sex. Sex is how we all got here. Also, today is the first day of Taurus. You have on your body what they call a Taurus field, which would be your electromagnetic field, which would be your aura. Also, you have the Taurus being the bull, right? Or that holy cow that we associate with Hathor or Het Heru, which was initiated on Easter or Easter. That Eastern star, right? You would consider that Eastern star the right hemisphere of the brain. That Eastern star would be the right hemisphere of the brain. That right hemisphere of the brain, what we're dealing with is we're dealing with visualization, right? The things that you see, the images that you take in, the way that you see yourself, the way that you see your world, the way that you see your friends, the way that you see your family, the way that you see your job, your career, or your business. How you see yourself, right? Today, on 420, which is this Weed Smokers Day, we have had 19 solar flares yesterday, and we have another solar flare that kicked off today. 20 solar flares on 420 in 2022. 2 plus 2 plus 2. You don't count the 0. 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. 4 plus 2 equals 6. Today is a very, very magical day. I am out here. What I was doing before I started to shoot this video, I was out here scrying in this tree right here, Big Papa. In the park, scrying in this tree. Now, what is scrying? Scrying is basically you're looking at an object, right? And a lot of people do it in black obsidian. Black obsidian comes from volcanoes. This comes from the ashes of volcanoes, right? A lot of people do it with black obsidian. You look in a black obsidian mirror, and some people are able to see images, right? And everybody could, or most people, I can't say everybody, but most people will have that skill set where they could look at it, and it takes focus, it takes time. If you are a person who meditates, you'll be more in tune to tap into the ability to read and scry and receive these images. They could be images about the future, images about the past, downloads from your ancestors, ancestors, your auntie, your uncles, the ancient ancestors, right? Messages, things like that. So what I was doing with that particular tree that I showed y'all is I was using Metatron's cube, right? Metatron's cube, and basically visualizing Metatron's cube in that tree. And in these headphones that you see here, I had the frequency of 40 hertz. 40 hertz is the gamma wave frequency. 40 hertz is the gamma wave frequency. We all know Bruce Banner, the story of Bruce Banner in Marvel Comics. He got hit with gamma waves and he turned into the Hulk. But remember, Bruce Banner was a scientist, right? He was a scientist by nature. The Hulk part of him was rage, right? Rage and anger. But the Hulk was also the color green. If you look at the deity Osir or the deity Osiris, you'll also notice when the vision of him is painted on the walls, he's the color green. Osir, going back to the number 6, we're dealing with balance, right? It takes a male and female to create a baby. It takes masculine and feminine energy. The masculine left hemisphere of the brain that deals with logic, reasoning, and words, and the feminine the feminine right hemisphere of the brain, the Eastern star, that deals with visualization, imagination, and holistic thinking, right? Pictures. So the same way that we give birth physically and give birth to a child with masculine and feminine energy is the same way we give birth to ideas, concepts, visions, right? And then we use our hands and we use our feet, and then we get busy to work in line with those visions, those ideas, right? Also, being that today is 420, let's discuss the weed, the marijuana. This is going to be the part y'all don't like. Now, me myself, right? I always try to be as vulnerable as possible. Me myself, this month of Ramadan, right? And I was smoking weed pretty much every night, right? Since the pandemic. I stopped for a while, and the pandemic kind of got me in the first couple of weeks. You know, we was all trying to figure out what was going on. And I didn't realize, but I kind of developed a habit, right? And I was smoking weed pretty much every night, even though I was still delivering y'all videos and content and stuff like that. I was smoking weed every night. In the month of Ramadan, Spirit said, yo, you got to stop, bro. You got to stop. You got to stop. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and in my head, I'm like, you know, I'm battling with Spirit. This is in my meditations, right? I'm like, yo, but I like it. You know what I'm saying? It's not bad. Boom, I use it, you know, in concerts and sex and, you know, different things, you know, helps when I'm watching movies to get deeper into it, right? This is how I'm training myself. And my Spirit's like, nah, you need clarity. Spirit's like, you don't have to stop smoking, right? But the weed nowadays is not what it used to be. The weed and it's not what it used to be, right? And then I started thinking, right, about the weed I was smoking and how it was making me feel. And I noticed that the weed that they have nowadays is not the same. Even my favorite strain, sativa, right, is very hard to find, right, unless I go to a dispensary. And even then, I noticed myself lately when I'm smoking that I just feel tired after. You know what I'm saying? I feel tired. I feel lazy, you know, and I used to feel inspired when I used to smoke. I used to feel like creating when I used to smoke. I used to feel like doing things when I used to smoke and just have that, you know, that high feeling, right? That feeling of feeling high. But my Spirit told me not. My Spirit was like, yo, observe Ramadan, and during this Ramadan, I need you to only smoke on Fridays. Friday's the day of Venus. It's the day of joy, music, entertainment, fertility, and also visualization. Going back to that Eastern star, the right side of the brain, right? You know, we just caught off of Easter. And I'm going to tell you guys, since I have stopped, right? Since I have stopped and adhered to my ancestors' advice, my clarity level is going up. My download level is going up. The ideas, the things that I have to do, I've been completing. I've been moving more towards my goals. The money has gone up, right? Spirit told me there was a sports bet sometime last week. I'll share this with y'all. The Clippers, they were in a play-in. So everybody knows sports. The Clippers were in a play-in, and I was watching the Clippers versus, who were they playing? The Pelicans, right? And the Pelicans were down big. They was down almost 20 points, right? And Spirit just kept telling me, and I don't do sports betting all the time. You know what I'm saying? Every once in a while, if I get a feeling, I'll drop a little 50 or something, or 100 or something. Every once in a while, you know? I've been successful doing this, right? Because I follow the Spirit, right? But my Spirit was telling me, yo, don't believe in these Clippers. Over and I swear over and over and over.
Everybody bring it in. You took your best punch. It's a 10-point game going in the fourth quarter. Okay? Get your freaking heads up. This is what we live for. This is what we worked hard for. Okay? We ain't giving it up. We are not freaking giving this up. You gotta freaking fight. You gotta fight.
That's an award-winning State Farm audio assist from the head coach in his first year for the Pelicans.
The bet came because they were down. It was plus 333, right? Plus 333, meaning whatever you bet, you got $333 or plus $333 more than whatever you bet, right? It was a 333 up bet, you know. And I said, man, this is a sign. You know what I'm saying? The numbers. I said, yo, let me put this money down. I ain't gonna tell y'all what I bet, but I put the money down. Lo and behold, the motherfucking Pelicans came back, won the game. You know. And this has happened to me multiple times when I've done this type of things, right? I ain't gonna say I've always hit, but I'm up more than I'm down on BetMGM, you know? And I bet on the Super Bowl too. Same type of thing. Spirit was telling me, yo, do this, but don't, cover the spread. This one I did the money line. So those who know bets, y'all know what I'm talking about. So, and yesterday, my computer went on the fritz. My work computer went on the fritz, and then my internet went down. I don't know if it was the solar flares or anything, but where I'm at in the Bronx, the internet just went down last night. Because I told you I was going to go live, but the internet went down last night up until I think it was sometime after midnight or whatever, based on what my landlord was telling me. But I was asleep. I fell asleep early, 11 o'clock last night. That's early for me. And but yesterday I because I had the day off unexpectedly, I was able to do so many things that I kind of was putting off, handle so much business that I was able to take care of. So the point is, right, going back to me scrying into that tree, right? I'm out here now scrying into that tree, scrying that Metatron's cube into that tree. And the charge in my body because of these 20 solar flares and me purporting that image in nature is reflecting that image back to me, and I'm feeling myself being charged up. Now I'm doing this again while I'm listening to 40 hertz, that gamma wave frequency. The gamma wave frequency is the frequency that where your downloads are located, where you get your uploads, where you get your inner visions, where you get that inspiration, where you get that intuition, right? And I'm putting with this Metatron's cube, I'm putting my visions, my goals, and my dreams in it, and I'm seeing it reflect back the success of these dreams, these goals, and these visions, and how to and giving me little voices and things in my head of how I could tackle them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying all that to say, even though it's 420, if you blowing trees, hey, I'm not here to judge, you know what I'm saying? But please know that the weed nowadays is not the same the way that it used to be. Please know that if you are having issues and if you are having problems, yeah, I understand, you know what I'm saying? Blow a tree or whatever, I get it, But if you are trying to really, really ascend, if you are really trying to become a God body, the body of God, because I've also been meditating the Holy Week. I told y'all during the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction, I was meditating 3 times a day. Now I'm back to 1 or 2 times a day, more often 2 times a day. And even today, when I meditated this morning, man, the visualizations, man, I mean, one of these visualizations just took me to ancient Kemet, and I'm seeing, I'm seeing the women actually. I'm seeing women in a session where they're honoring Hathor, right? Hathor. I'm seeing them honoring with the Taurus. If you look at Taurus, right, you see those ram that bull head, right? And I'm seeing them in ritual. It took me to Kemet is Egypt, right? Kemet just means the black land. So it took me to ancient Egypt, and it allowed me to see it, and I was going, and allowed me to give an inner vision of them, of the ancients doing a ritual. Sorry about that. I hit my earpiece, and the 40 hertz kicked in again. I don't know if y'all heard that, but I'm saying this to say that make the necessary adjustments in order to become great. Make the necessary adjustments in order to create a mindset. And we're going to talk about mindset as well. I want to talk to y'all about mindset and magic and, some of the things you may be missing, some of the things you may not be looking at, some of the things you may not be observing, right, in your life when you're trying to do ritual, when you have these amulets, when you're wearing these crystals, when you are working with these veves, right, working with sacred geometry. The Merkaba is just sacred geometry, right? It is basically every time you speak, it creates a sound. That sound, if you were able to measure it, it creates a shape, right? It goes out in wave formation. Everything, the tone, we come from tonal languages, melanated beings, and the tones create vibration. That vibration creates a frequency, right? A frequency is what you do frequently. Frequency is what you do frequently. So when you are saying things to yourself and out loud, there is a frequency that is created. That frequency is creating a wave function. That wave function is creating sacred geometry. The tone of everything creates sacred geometry. Sound creates shape. Sound creates shape as well. So please be aware. Please be aware you can't half-ass this journey. Please be aware that you have to make certain sacrifices. You know, I'm on my gym shit as well. You know, on my always, you know, trying to eat well. I'm utilizing atomic ormus. I'm also taking what else am I taking every day? I'm taking atomic ormus, which is liquid gold, and I'm also taking colloidal silver, right? These things help tune up the body and also help raise the body's physical vibration. See, a lot of times people treat their cars. You're going to put premium gas on your car. You're going to make sure your car is clean. You're going to wax the outside of it, right? You're going to make sure that it looks sparkling clean when there's a nice sunny day like today. But people will put junk in their body and then come back and tell you, oh, it doesn't matter. Come back and tell you, you could do whatever as long as you are thinking the right way. You know, they on some secret shit, right? Nah, we ain't on that. You know what I'm saying? We not on the secret. The secret is a half-truth. You have to do things physically. You can't just think things and feel things and then things just happen. It doesn't work like that. This is why we do full moon rituals. This is why we do new moon rituals. This is why we do solar rituals like on a day like today, where we go out in the sun and scry, where we go out in nature, right? And you could do this today or tomorrow. I think there's 19 solar flares. All week is going to be popping. So if you're watching this today or tomorrow, you could still tap into this energy, you know? If you're high right now, it's okay. I'm not demonizing you for being high. But if you're going to be high, use that highness, you know, to draw energy to yourself. Use that highness to be out in nature or be having fun or be enjoying yourself, but make sure you use it as a sacrament. Make sure you use it for the purpose of deep diving. Make sure you're using it for the purpose of creating the new reality that you want to see. Make sure you're using it for the purpose of ascension, right? Because that's what these herbs are for, right? These herbs are for the healing of the nation. They're for the healing of the nation, and we know that once they make these things legal, you know what I'm saying, and now they got all these hybrids and all that, who knows what they're stripping? Who knows what they're stripping on the stem? Who knows what they're adding to the stem, to the seed, right? Who knows if these things are making men more feminine? Who knows if these things are making women more aggressive? Who knows if the food that we're eating that tastes so good, right, is making men more feminine and women more aggressive, right? There's a science of biochemical warfare. They have something called a gay bomb. True story. Gay bomb. I'm gonna put it right here. Gay bomb, right? And we really got to get to the point to where we are disciplined enough to make sacrifices. And this year is the year of self-mastery. If you're not going to master yourself, and if you're not going to try to become your best self, you're just looking for, you're just tapping into the occult, tapping into esoteric thought, tapping into metaphysics, tapping into ancient culture, ATRs, African traditional religions, and or tapping into demonology, even tapping into spiritual sciences, and you're just doing it so you could brag to your friends about how smart you are. You could brag to your friends. This is why I don't give a fuck about astral traveling, right? We're going off a little rant. But this is why I don't give a fuck about astral traveling. Because until somebody could tell me they astral traveled to the bank teller, and the bank teller gave them, you know, a couple $1,000s extra when they went to withdraw, or they went to the ATM and they astral traveled to the maker of the ATM, or they astral traveled to Joe Biden, or they astral traveled to you know, something that's significant, then it's just some superhero shit. It's just some Marvel shit. Yes, you can astral travel. Yes, that is the truth. Easy way to astral travel: before you go to bed, think about where you want to go. Think about where you want to be, right? Meditate before you go to bed. Think about where you want to go. Think about where you want to be. And as you drift into sleep, your spirit will take you to where you want to go and where you want to be, right? Can you influence things? Sometimes. Can you influence things all the time? No. Sometimes you're just going to be an observer. Remember, the spiritual world is not really one of the type of touch that we think of physically. If you have ever been on a psychedelic like mushrooms or ayahuasca, you realize that when you are in that world, if you're doing it right? If you're doing meditations and you're on ayahuasca, if you're doing meditation and you are on mushrooms, on psilocybin, the psilocybin, right? When we're dealing with the mycelium of the earth. If you're doing these, you realize that the touch, the physical touch that you have in that, the touch that you have in that world is totally different than the touch that you have here on this physical plane. This is a school. This is the universal college. That's all Earth is. Earth is college, right? Earth is school. You go through various seasons, right, in the zodiac wheel. And when you look at these things, you're really looking at a snapshot of who you are, and what you're trying to get into, right? So we need to really align ourselves with nature, really need to align ourselves with these herbs, align ourselves with these God forces that we call deities, that we call archetypes, right? These archangel energies, right? Tap into our ancestors, right? Honor our ancestors and don't expect nothing from them. Just honor them to honor them, and they will give you, and they will communicate with you, and they will tell you, and they will show you things that you need if you honor them without wanting anything in return, right? Now, when you do your altar work, you know that's different. You know what I'm saying? You do your altar work with your ancestors there, yeah, you're asking them for help. But don't just go to your altar when you want something. It's not a motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? It's not a check cashing place. You know, it's not a money exchange. You know, it's not the stock market. Use your ancestors. Honor your ancestors the same way you want to be honored. You don't want to, if you don't want somebody always coming to you in real life right now. You don't want somebody always coming to you for something, right? You just want somebody to love you just because they love you. So if you love your ancestors and you want to connect with your ancestors, show them love without expecting anything. Same way you do for your kids. You show your kids love. You don't really expect anything from them. You want them to do their best, but you show them love because A, you have to, and B, it's the right thing to do. And we know some parents don't show their children love, right? They don't love their children. But you don't want to be that type of parent, and you don't want to be that type of prophet, and you don't want to be that type of priest. And you don't want to have that type of power. You don't want to channel that type of energy. So now is the time. This week is popping. Get your energy up. Get your vibration up. Get your frequency up, right? Get your meditation on. We got a full moon that's coming. New moon that's coming in Taurus soon, along with an eclipse. Another powerful thing. So now this year is the year of self-mastery. It's the year of self-mastery. You either get on the boat or you're going to be left. Get on the boat. Get on that sky boat. That lovely sky boat, or you're going to get left. You're going to get left in the dust. Things are changing. You have to change. Things are adjusting. We got inflation out here. We got supply chain issues, right? We got the whole thing with Ukraine, right? They about to reveal the Roni 4.5.0, wherever we're at, right? Coming in the fall. They're already trying to prep you mentally, predictive programming on the news and via, these ads and things like that. So be prepared. Get your health up. Get your health up. Get your fitness. You don't have to be in the gym. You could do yoga. You could do qigong. You could do capoeira, right? There's many ways you could get fit. All right, many ways you could get fit, not just going to the gym or running and things like that. Many ways you could get fit. Take your ass to a spa, book a spa. You know what I'm saying? Go sit in the sauna. Go get you a massage. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. We had a 2020 and 2021, a lot of people were in the house, they weren't moving. You know what I'm saying? Get out here, get moving, get your energy up, get your vibration up. These are the things you do, practical methods. Not just getting a motherfucking, cord cutting or a money spell or a love spell, or a hex. This ain't the time for that. This is the time for self-mastery. Peace, power, and prosperity. Rob Black Storm. Happy 420 to y'all. Tap into this solar energy, right? Tap into this Ra energy, right? Let it fill you up and get these downloads so you can upload your best and highest self, your inner most high. And that is that activates your intuition. Peace, power, and prosperity. Rob Black Storm. Oh, and I forgot to tell y'all, I have on all black, so I could absorb more of these sun rays. Peace. We can touch it, super conscious, take your mind on a ride inside a black hole's darkness. Fly like the phoenix, my DNA display.